What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Papa JT, and I'm coming at you with another training camp preview. And if you haven't watched one of my previous training camp videos, what I do is I break down the teams, players to watch for offense and defense. And I talk about what the team needs to improve on and how successful they will be this coming season. And up next are the Cleveland Browns. So the Cleveland Browns had a pretty solid draft. They drafted a lot of good players, and you're probably going to hear a lot of them for my players to watch on offense. So on the offense side of the ball, the player to watch, one of the rookies to watch is Antonio Callaway. Now, Antonio Callaway is a first round talent wide receiver, but he has had a lot of problems in college. But when he was playing, he was very productive at the University of Florida, and he had 700 yards his freshman year. Now, let me remind you, a lot of you guys might be like, 700 yards, that's nothing. Well, when you look at the quarterback controversy that Florida had, those 700 yards would be equal to a 1,500 yard season because Florida had no quarterback. Who was the quarterback that year? I think it was Austin Appleby, I think. Something like that. Or I don't even know who the quarterback was. So Antonio Callaway is one of the players that you need to look out for. Another position that you need to look out for is the running back group. Now, the Cleveland Browns have a very good trio of running backs. Each can do different things. Nick Chubb is the traditional powerhouse downhill runner. You hand it off, he's a bulldozer. Carlos Hyde is he's a split back. He can catch out the backfield and he can run through the tackles. He's also a pretty big guy, so he can run through some people too. And then you had Duke Johnson, who is probably the smallest of the running back group, who can line up at slot, and he's more of a slot wide receiver type running back. You line him up wide and he makes plays that way, or you just find out some little gadget plays. He's just a guy that you want to get the ball in his hands. So those are my three players to watch. You also probably want to watch Josh Gordon. He had a pretty good season, only playing about 5 games. And on the defensive side of the ball, you need to watch out for Denzel Ward, who the Cleveland Browns drafted with the 4th overall pick after they selected Baker Mayfield. I feel they should have went with Bradley Chubb, but Denzel Ward is the hometown kid, so they drafted him. He's pretty small. He's like 5'10", but he's put on some weight because before he got drafted, he was 183 pounds. I believe he's like 195 now. So he's putting on some weight. He was a good man coverage corner in college. I want to see what he's going to do at the NFL level. Will he need to put on a lot more weight to be productive? That's another player who you need to look out for. I would say look out for Myles Garrett to see if he gets even better than how he was last season, because he had a pretty good season. I think he had 9 sacks, and he was setting the world on fire, setting the league on fire until he started getting double teamed. And you need to look out for the cornerback position because they lost one corner. I think it was who did they lose? They lost a McCourty brother. I think it was Jason McCourty, who left and he went to New England. So they need to look out for a player who could possibly take his spot. And then the last player I want to talk about is Jabril Peppers. Now, Jabril Peppers had a terrible rookie year. He was graded out to be one of the worst safeties by Pro Football Focus, and a lot of people are thinking he's a bust. I want to see how he improves and how he handles this. And what the Cleveland Browns need to do as a whole. I feel they are the second best team in the NFC North. They have the second best talent. They might be able to compete with my Pittsburgh Steelers, but I don't know. But I'm eager to see what we do week 1 because, as you know, Pittsburgh, if you're a Pittsburgh fan, one thing you know about us is that we always underplay to our opponents. So don't be surprised if we lose this game to the Browns. The Browns have a pretty good team, and I think this Browns team is good enough to compete for a playoff spot. They got Tyrod Taylor, Josh Gordon, Jarvis Landry, The offensive line is really slept on. They have a good offensive line. The defense was pretty good. The defense ranked like 14th in the NFL. So this is it for the Cleveland Browns training camp preview. Make sure to leave your comments, like the video, share the video, and most important, subscribe.